Hello and welcome again to Weekly Knit Chit Chat. So if you're new around here, I am Jessica. I'm the designer behind Snickerdoodle Knits and the mentor and facilitator at the Design Circle. The Design Circle is a community for designers. So the Weekly Knit Chit Chat is just where we hang out here on Instagram for an hour and talk about knitting, talk about life, all of the things. I decided to go ahead and use the filter again this week because it worked really well in hiding my mystery yarn last week. Hello and welcome to folks who are joining live. Also, hello and welcome if you're not joining live. If you're watching the replay, I always put the replays on both YouTube and Instagram. But what are you up to? What have you been knitting? How's your week been? Hello, and welcome. What are you up to? I am working on my In a Mood shawl infinity scarf, and currently I have two projects that are using the same needle size. So I am putting my needles back on this one, but I didn't put the stoppers on, so I have a few stitches off. But feel free to share in the comments what you have been knitting on, or crocheting, or any kind of craft, sewing. It's all welcome. But what have you been working on? So during the chat last week, I haven't knit on this since then, but I realized afterwards I had actually knit enough to start the ribbing. And actually I had knit a little farther than I wanted to, but I think I'm still just gonna keep it. And here, apparently I created a stitch where there wasn't a stitch. So there's that. Oh, now I'm gonna blank on your name. 231 Baker Street. What's your name? I'm so sorry. So glad you caught me live. And I love that you always catch the replays. I appreciate it. And I still have to respond to a comment over on YouTube. But I'll get to that. Sarah, thank you. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Instagram needs to give us like some sort of option where we can still show our name easily or something. I don't know, but you've been working on a shawl for Knit Along. What shawl? Who's the designer? Tell me all about it. And there's somebody else here. Oh, Natalia's here. What are you working on, Natalia? My yarn just rolled way over there. So I'll be back in just a second, and I'll try to not tip over my chair. But, yeah, so I guess for anybody who hasn't been watching the weekly Knit Chit Chats, this is the In a Mood infinity scarf, which is basically the same pattern as the shawl, but it's an infinity scarf. And so the idea is that you get to choose what stitches you knit and when. So there's garter, there's drop stitches, there's inside out garter rib. Here, I can show you a little bit better. And because I do have the filter on, it doesn't show colors as well, which was kind of the point, because I have a project I can't actually share. But last week I showed the colors and it distorted the colors enough that you don't actually know what color it is, so I feel like I can still share it. Knitting McPurley had a lunch shawl pattern and Cal going that I joined just a weekish left, and then Easter. Fun. Just scrolling through Instagram, I'm tired after 3.5 mile hike. Yes. Totally get that. If you're wanting to hang around for a little while, Natalia, feel free to share, like, even if you're not knitting on something right now, if you've been working on a project lately, what you've been working on. Let's see here. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I'll pretend like I do. Oh, goodness. Yeah, and so then otherwise, I have just been knitting on my new design. I just started yesterday. And that's the mystery one that I can't actually tell you about. I didn't even bring the yarn in here. So I guess I can't show you the colors. I mean, I can't show you the fake colors. Oh, but it's fun. It's my first time using a technique that I'm using. And it's my first time working with a third-party publisher. So that's all fun. Natalia, where did you go hiking? Were you along the river, or did you go up to the mountains, or is it somewhere special? Let's see. And what else has been going on this week? Feel free to share that. And I'll just tell you all sorts of things to share. The 3 words for the week. How would you describe your week in 3 words? I said for this week, balanced, profitable, and easygoing. And a lot of that is because I have been working to implement what I call my time boundaries. Basically, it's a schedule, a routine, but I have to implement my time boundaries to keep me from working A, all of the time, and B, working super late at night. So I've been doing stuff that hasn't been work, which has been fun because, like, got a bunch of dishes done, did a bunch of laundry. So for my birthday, my spouse had bought me he bought me plants, mostly artificial, a couple real, but I finally got homes for most of them, and then I bought a couple more to go in a couple places. Yeah, and I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos, because I had to get caught up on some YouTubers, like, I mostly watch, like, travel vloggers, or, like, van lifers, and then with COVID, a lot of them, of course, none of them were able to travel anymore, so then, a lot of them, like, turned into home reno kind of stuff. Anyway, so I watch, when I actually watch stuff, I'll watch Trent and Allie, and Kara and Nate, and then, who's the other? Eamon and Beck. Those are the 3 main ones I've been watching. And then Eamon and Beck's friends, they go by King in it, but basically all of them, Kara and Nate used to be world travelers by plane, just went to all these different countries. They went to 100 countries, and then the others were van lifers, and so yeah, I enjoy travel, so I enjoy watching that stuff. And then now one couple has a new baby, and they just built a house, and another couple, they got a van. The ones that were world travelers, they bought a van and have been doing some van travel, but they also still have started doing more world travel and all sorts of stuff. They like to do different physical challenges and stuff too. And then the other couple bought a cabin that needed a lot of work done, so they basically redid the whole house, and now she's going through breast cancer. So anyway, that's what I've been doing in my free time, now that I'm making free time for myself. Sarah said 3 words would be cold, busy, and family. That sounds overall good. I mean, maybe the last one, I was gonna say the last one, ends it on a good note, but I guess it depends on your family. So feel free to chime in more on that. But hopefully your family time is good time. And I'm sorry it's cold. Are you in? I'm not even gonna. Where are you located, Sarah? And hopefully the busy is a good busy too. Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. But it always is. Let's see what else has been going on. So I started the week with, did you see my Instagram live? I did an Instagram live on my other account, it's at Pattern Design Circle, the other account. But I did an Instagram live with my friend Kinsey of Feel Good Social, and we chatted. Oh, we basically just chatted about my business journey, and then different business stuff and things. And then the next day, I interviewed her for my podcast, which isn't a thing yet. I mean, like, it's not something you can go visit yet, but it almost is. So that was fun. We talked about having fun in your business and different definitions of fun and all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun. And then let's see what else has been going on. I did a bunch of content stuff. In the design circle, we had a guest speaker yesterday, which was fun. I don't know, are you familiar with the Making Stories magazine? We had Hannah Lisa, who's the owner of Making Stories, chat with us yesterday all about working with publications. So that was a lot of fun because got insider view, and it was just like, do you ever have those conversations where you're talking with somebody and like afterwards you just like feel so good, like so happy, and like just glad that you know that person and had that conversation. That's how I felt after the conversation. It was just like, oh, just like, I guess Hannah Lisa is just like super sweet, and it was like, she's so supportive of designers and like so eager to help, and I don't know, it was just one of those people. I'm like, oh, I'm glad I know you. And it wasn't even like I knew her really before I asked her to be a design circle guest. I mean, like I'd seen her online and stuff, but I didn't have a connection with her, so it's just neat and fun. And then the other thing inside the design circle this week is that the design along is running right now, and we had our first calls this week, so they're happening every Thursday and Saturday, so yesterday and tomorrow. And it's like, I kind of had an agenda, but not like super, like it wasn't like we're gonna talk about this and this. It's like, all right, we're gonna talk about designing, we can talk about our projects, we can talk about design process and that kind of stuff. And so like when I don't know exactly how it's gonna, like, don't have like this whole agenda, I never know how it's gonna go. Like, are people gonna be talkative? Are they gonna be bashful? And what I had planned on being in a 1 hour call turned into like almost a 2 hour call. So obviously I didn't have to worry about that. But yeah, it's been fun. So as Sarah said, it was good. My brother made a flying visit in here for 2 hours, but it was good to see him. I'm in Missouri, and we got some unexpected flurries today. Okay. Oh, for 24 hours. Okay. Good. That's fun. I'm glad you were able to see your brother. Yeah, it's special. Siblings are special. And I definitely would have been so off if I would have guessed where you were. So thanks for sharing. We actually are a little bit chillier today. I mean, like this weekend. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to do so much stuff outside this weekend now that, I'm going to try to take the weekend off. I'll get so much gardening stuff done. I can go hang in my hammock. All these ideas. And then now, I noticed this morning the high for tomorrow is 57. And I don't know if it's going to be quite as pleasant as I had thought it would be. But we'll see. Today, it was like this morning I was out, it wasn't even 50 yet, and it still felt not too bad. So maybe it won't be terrible. But I hope you stay warm. If you like the flurries, I hope you enjoy them. Otherwise, I hope they melt and don't cause you trouble. Lambed Up Liberty Yarn. Just wanted to tell you thanks for doing these lives. Rarely do I get to watch the whole thing, but love what you do. Thanks. Oh, thank you so much, and love my content. That's so sweet. I really do appreciate that. So the actual reason why I started these lives was because I wanted to connect more with you. That's why I love Instagram, is the connection. And B, because I love it when other people do lives, and it just like feels like I know them so much better. And so, for example, there's this yarn dyer that I'll catch 3 minutes of her live videos or something every once in a while, and it's not like I don't even hardly recognize her name, but when I see that she's live, I get so excited because it's like just through those few minutes every week that I see her on her Instagram live, even though she talks for, it's an hour-long live. I usually just am in and out. It's like, I feel like I start to know her, and I'm just like, I don't know, it's interesting because when somebody's talking live like this, it feels like more natural and real, and like you actually get to know them. And so that's why I started it. So I totally get if you don't get all of the live, but I do appreciate you being here, and I love all of the interaction when you are here. So and thank you so much for your support. It's so sweet. I really do appreciate it. Sarah said, we planted the spring plants and then got a cold jack. Oh no, I hope they survive. I like to think that I'm into gardening and plants and things, but I'm terrible about making time for things. So, someday it's like my dream that I have like these raised beds and like I can grow all of this stuff. Right now, all of my plants are flowers, but I haven't even done anything outside yet. Part of that, of course, is because I was gone for 2 weeks, and then there was a wedding the next weekend, and last weekend I wasn't feeling well. So, but yeah, I want to do more gardening stuff, but so many things to do, not enough time. Hello. Oh, you're asking the name of the yarn dyer, and I know that it has sheep in it, but I don't. Twisted Sheep? That's like the crazy thing. It's like I don't even know this company that well, but it's like when I see her name, especially when it's like the live circle thing, it's like, oh, I love that person because I love seeing them live. And I can't search because I'm doing this live on my phone, and my computer's in another room. But yes, it's so fun to have you here. I apologize. What's your first name? I think it's your Instagram name, but I don't know for sure. So I know that you are the mom of Wool and Woman Fibers. There's the 3 different parts where there's the bags and the fibers, and yeah, so fun. So it's good to have you here. For anybody new who's hopped on while I've just been chatting, feel free to share, to begin with, 3 words to describe your week. And okay, that's what I thought, and now I'm gonna butcher it. I don't know if it's Agnes. Okay, so it's probably Aggie. I hope. I apologize if I'm totally butchering it. Or Mom. Perfect. I can do that. Oh, thanks for joining. It's fun to have you here. Sometimes it feels like, well, I guess that's true in real life too. I was gonna say sometimes it feels like I come on here and I just make a fool of myself. but I do that in real life too. So, you know, it's not just the internet. Oh, goodness. It was funny the other day. We were just driving home from somewhere. And I just kept making my silly, stupid jokes. And I was like, it dawned on me that, like, it's really hard to, like, express certain parts of your personality on the internet. Because, like, sometimes I tend to make, like, these little, just, like, side joke things that are very situational. And they're definitely meant to be funny. But a lot of times people don't laugh. But, you know, like, that kind of thing is hard to do just, like, on Instagram, because there's not a lot of communicating back and forth. I don't know. It's just, it's a lot easier when it's just, because it just, like, comes randomly. It's not pre-planned. Thank you. You said I don't make a fool and love tuning in. Well, also, I feel like, you know, like, making a fool of yourself isn't always bad. Like, sometimes it's super fun to watch people just, like, be silly and quote unquote make a fool of themselves. Like, not in like a bad way that you're, like, laughing at them, but you're laughing with them. Sarah, thank you so much. She says I'm always so sweet and kind. I do. That's usually how I think of myself, but there's definitely, there are other parts of my personality. All of us, right? We're well-rounded individuals. You know, there's multiple. We're not just one thing. Thankfully. Yeah. Hello, Blue House Hand Knits. If you want to share what you've been working on, knitting or otherwise, feel free to pop that in the comments. Yeah, so did I share everything from my week? Oh, yeah, I did talk all about the artificial plants. So, funny side note. On the podcast that I had recorded with Kenzie, I was talking about different definitions of having fun. And, like, stereotypically, I think of, like, having fun is, like, people's, like, the perception of having fun is, like, a big wild party with a whole bunch of loud music and dancing and, like, you know, all of this, like, loud commotion and lots of people. And to me, like, that doesn't actually sound that fun. A lot of times I just want to be at home doing my thing. But what I had said, I was going to say that I would rather just sit at home with my plants, but right behind me was this artificial plant that I had just got, so I said I'd rather be sitting at home with my fake plants. Oh goodness, I amuse myself sometimes, even if I don't amuse anyone else. Yeah, so that was my artificial plants. And I still need to start my sock test knit. So if Sarah from s.knits tunes in, I still haven't started that, but I am excited for it. If you didn't watch last week's, I signed up for a test knit, which is maybe kind of crazy of me because I always have plenty on my plate, but you know, it's a good way to maybe do something for myself. And I've been wanting DK weight slipper socks. Like, I could probably use like 20 pairs of them. And Sarah has this pattern out for testing. So I applied and she accepted me, and now I need to make a sock. I'm sure it'll go pretty quickly. Looks pretty simple, but that is something I have not started yet and should before too long. I do have other knitting. So I had said my only other knitting was my mystery knit, but I finished all of my swatches. So I was swatching with it's like 5 different bases Yeah, it's 5 bases, different bases of DK weight from campfire yarns. Oh my goodness, they're so soft. I wish you could feel them. Anyway, so I finished all 5 samples and blocked them. And now I have to make my final decision on which yarn I want to use. I don't know if there's an easy way I can have you help me with my decision. I really like this one. It kind of feels more summery. Oh, I messed up my pattern. That looks better maybe. Oh, I don't know. It like feels so summery to me. I think this is the one she said is her is this the non-superwash? I think this might be the non-superwash. And then I think this is the other one I was really liking. I don't know. This one's like, it's a little plumper. It's a bit cozier. This one feels like more like a summery, lightweight. It gets smooth, but it's not cozy, if that makes sense at all. So those were the 2 where I'm like, I think I might go that direction. But then there was also this one. I'm like, oh, I don't know if do I like that one better? Or do I like that one better? I don't know. It's so hard. Basically, this one feels a little bit more plump. Maybe a little bit more soft. But I think I like the stitch definition of this one. So, if you have an opinion, 1 versus 2, feel free to share in the comments. It's kind of, I don't know if I can really tell in the camera which one I would choose either. Sarah said she's glad she doesn't have to make the decision. Right? Like, what? Why? Oh, and the thing is, like, they're all beautiful and they all have their own pros and cons. So, I don't know. Or maybe they just all have their own pros. Oh, goodness. Okay, so that was the other knitting that I actually did quite a bit of knitting last weekend, and I knit up a bunch of those. Oh, hello, 923 Fabrics and Crafts. Are you, I think you're a new yarn shop in Charlotte area? I could be totally wrong, and so I apologize. Yeah, so that was my other knitting. And then, yeah, I talked about how I've been implementing my time boundaries again so that I have more time for me. It was kind of funny as I was like writing out my schedule again, because it's the same schedule I had like written out for myself in January and followed for a while and then fell off of the wagon. But I was like, wait, if I actually do this, I get like 3 hours of time for me to do what I want and to like do yard work and housework, and like it was just crazy. I was like, it probably doesn't sound that impressive, but I was like, oh my goodness, there's all this time I could use. Yeah. So we have been on the last few lives, somebody's been coming live with me and sharing like their projects and just chatting, and it's been a lot of fun. So let's see who's still here. Natalia and Sarah, if either of you want to go live, I'd love to have you. You can either put in the comments or you can request to join the live. But if you have a knitting or a crochet or a weaving or a sewing or a scrapbooking or any kind of craft thing you've been working on that you could share, yeah, I'd love to have you hop on, share with me. Sarah, are you on a break or are you not working? I know sometimes you tune in on your breaks, but I think the last time you did that, you only had like 10 minutes and you've been here for most of the half hour, so. And if you don't want to talk about making, you know, we can talk about something else too. Because I don't think I really have much else. Actually, I have work today. Do you want to go live with me? Do you want to chat? And no worries if not, no pressure. I get that it can be intimidating. But yeah, nobody wants to go live. Do you have another topic of conversation? What has even been happening? Oh, I guess I could come up with another topic of conversation. So my husband's, why now? Oh, yay! I think I accepted it. It always takes a little bit. There we go.
Hi, can you see me?
Yeah, I can.
Ignore the horrible background. It's going to distort all color in here. But
Do you have a project there?
actually, I thought this would be fun to share. And of course, I didn't think to actually open it up and get it out before I clicked the little video link. But on Tuesday, we had elections here, and I was working at the elections, and I knit a pair of socks while I was at polls.
They're so cute.
April is always so slow, so and I'm there for 15 hours, so I had a ton of knitting time.
Yes. What yarn is that?
Knit Picks Fleecy, it was my first time using it, so I decided to make my mom some socks, and I thought I've heard a lot of good things about it. So I thought, well, this is a good time to get a ball of it and see how I like it. And I really enjoyed knitting with it. It's so soft.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think I kept it. Somebody had given me some Knit Picks Felici, but it was like colors that I wasn't ever really going to wear, and so I ended up. But yeah, I've heard lots about it too. And so then it's just a plain stockinette.
Yeah, with the colors being so wild, I thought I'd go very simple, and it's just a vanilla sock.
You do toe up or cuff down?
Toe up. I'm short row toe, short row heel all the way. I will adapt every pattern to toe up and short row heel.
Yes. I think, well, yeah, I have one sock pattern, and I have a short row option and the other option. Heel flop and gusset? No, I don't remember what it was. But I've also done short rows as well, so.
They're just so handy.
Yes, yes. So are you enjoying your day off work, or did you have the whole day off, or you just off?
I did. I had the whole day off. We met my brother. We did coffee together, mom and all of us siblings, and were able to hang out for a little while. And so it was good to actually take the whole day and spend some time together.
Yeah, that's fun. So does most of your family live close to you?
Yes, my brother is actually the only one who lives out of state. So most of us we're all very close still, even with him being out of state, but we don't get to see him as often as we'd like. So we take every opportunity.
Yeah, that sounds like my family, except for I'm the one who's far away. My parents and they all live within 2 hours of each other, but my one brother is moving back to our hometown. So my sister will be the only one 2 hours away, and then I'm the only one who's way across the country.
Yeah, all of us that are still here are all super close still. So that makes holidays and everything like that. Everybody's right there.
Yes, that's so fun. Yeah, I grew up that way as well. Like all of my dad's family lived in the same town. And then almost all of my mom's family was within like an hour and a half. So I grew up with all of my aunts and uncles and cousins and everybody.
Oh, that's awesome. Our extended family is a little further flung. It's mostly just the immediate family that's in town, but.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny because then my husband, his family's like all over the place. So they were the ones who, they saw their cousins like once a year, and we saw them like once a week.
That's how my dad's family is too. His siblings are spread across the U.S. and one abroad, so.
Oh, yeah. Yes, so fun. So do you have any weekend plans or anything coming up exciting?
Not really a lot. It's kind of cold here. We're planning an inside day. I work tomorrow, and then I think Sunday might be hot chocolate and board games.
Yeah, so did the snow stick or did it just flurry and
Just flurries and a cold breeze and flurries all through. It flurried pretty heavily for a while, but it didn't even stick to the grass because it's been like in the 50s here. This was very unexpected.
oh yeah, yeah, fun. Well, thanks so much for joining me live. This was
It's
fun.
fun to chat with you.
Yeah, it's really fun to be able to do this live and actually get interaction. So
No kidding.
thanks for always watching too.
I appreciate you posting the replays so I can catch them even afterwards.
Yeah, no problem. Sometimes they're a little bit slower getting onto YouTube, but they get there.
Sunday's usually my catch up on podcast day, so it works out anyways.
Perfect. Fun. Well, thank you.
I'll go ahead and say goodbye to everybody then this way. Oops. If anybody else wants to join in.
Um, it looks like Trish joined us. Hi, Trish. Long time no chat. We are just I do a weekly knit chit chat. And I've ran out of things to say basically. So if you want to share something you've been knitting on or any crafting project and just say hi, you're welcome to go live with me. Also, same with everybody else that's hopping on. Hello and welcome. And if you don't want to join me live, you can also share 3 words to describe your week. Mine was actually pretty good. I talked a little about it earlier, but I have been trying to take more time outside of work and actually do other stuff. So that's been fun. Yeah, and you can also talk about whatever projects you've been working on in your in the comments too. Trish, if you're comfortable going live, you could also share your Kokomo Shawl. So Trish is a knitwear designer who just released a shawl today, and it's beautiful. It's like the first little bit is lace, and then it's color. Here she is. And then like if you look at her test knitter photos, the color combinations are beautiful. I guess I already talked about it also. Yours. Hello.
Hi. I think my sinus meds are wearing off and I'm starting to stuff up again, so I apologize. I think I got a sinus infection from one of my lovely patients this
Yeah.
week. So yay! So I don't have my shawl with me, but I have a couple copies of the pattern. Bear with me as I'm moving around. Please don't get sick.
Perfect.
So I can, at the very least, show off. Well, where did I put them? Great question. Oh, here they are. So I have, we'll turn my video around here so you can see what the pattern looks like. Deep South Fibers did a fabulous job printing off patterns for my knit along that I released this pattern earlier this year for. I'm trying to zoom in so you guys can see the picture. So it is a color work shawl that is non-traditional color work. It uses, it's got a mosaic knitting theme that ties it all together. And it's got a shell stitch that involves pulling up some loops and then some striping. So it is non-traditional color work. I'm not a huge Fair Isle fan, so I like to give all the other color works a little bit of extra lovings.
Yes, so fun. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what, like, the inspiration behind it? Because it's
Oh, yeah.
shawl.
Yeah, so when I was first asked to work on this pattern, it was from my local yarn shop, and we were going to design kits to release kind of in the heart of ugly winter like January, February-ish, where everybody's just super sick of the weather and ready for it to warm up. And it's funny how we're talking about that. It's April and it's 43 degrees outside today, so still sick of it. So we are still in winter blues mode. And so when I was in high school, one of my favorite ways to beat the winter blues was put my summer clothing on and get in my car and turn up the heat and blast me some Beach Boys songs at full volume and just drive around and pretend that I'm not looking at brown snow piles.
Yes, I love that so much. It's so fun.
It definitely didn't make winter go away, but it helped. It made me feel a little better.
Yes, yes. And if anybody else has their winter blues secrets, what you do to feel better in the winter blues, feel free to share. Sarah was just mentioning that they were getting flurries in Missouri, so
they're coming. If she's in Missouri, they'll be in Indiana tomorrow.
yeah. Oh, do you have any other projects you've been working on?
I will get out. I actually have my finished one right here. My Arrow of Artemis shawl. I'm going to prop this up. Yeah, that's the right way. So this is a shawlette. It is a one skein wonder using Barocco Isola. It will be releasing specifically on local yarn shop day. My yarn shop will be offering it for sale with a yarn purchase. And I'm also, it's written for one skein, but I also wrote in directions if you wanted to make a full-size shawl, which I'm actually working on a 2 skein sample to show that off.
Fun. Do you want to show that lace a little bit closer?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's got this really fun little arrowy lace motif.
Okay, hence the name.
Yes. Yeah. And it's right down the middle. The rest is a nice stockinette, so and the borders are I-cord, so it's a fun, easy project. I think it took me 3 days to get the design put together, so it's a really nice little weekend quickie project.
Yes, and I'm guessing that's the one that you were mentioning is in testing right now?
Yes, it is in testing.
Are you needing any more testers?
Another couple would not hurt. It is open on Yarn Pond still, so like I said, it took me 3 days to design it, so worst case scenario, I can't imagine it would take more than a week or two to knit up, even working an hour at a time at most. So yeah.
You're not a full-time designer either. Like you have other stuff going on in your life.
That's correct. That's correct. The designing is my nights and weekends gig. So the rest of the week you can find me looking very deep into the general public's eyeballs. Quite literally, I look at their retinas. I'm an eye doctor.
No, not in a creepy way, in a helpful way.
No, not in a creepy way, in a very scientific way to make sure that their eyes are healthy.
Yes, that's so fun.
Although I did tell one of my LASIK patients that she had some really nice flaps.
Oh, it's funny. What day is local yarn shop day?
April 30th. So April 30th is a great day if you have a local yarn shop to head over to yours and show them some love. Just like any small business, local yarn shops are having a hard time in this wonderful end of / post-pandemic climate. So go show them some love on April 30th. That's a Saturday.
And so many yarn shops also do events. So
yes.
For
I know we're gonna have free patterns with yarn purchase. We're gonna have giveaways. I know I am actually gonna be putting together a couple of handmade project bags to be part of our giveaway. Me and one of the yarn shop owners are going to be giving away an exclusive like private shopping / knitting help experience
Ooh,
with maybe some refreshments and some wine.
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so you mentioned you're making bags. Are you still doing a lot of that, or like have you been doing much of that, or?
I honestly haven't. It's more my fun time thing. If I go nuts and feel like making a bunch of them, I'll list whatever. I don't feel like I absolutely need to keep myself on an Etsy shop, but I'm actually looking to convert that all over to PayHip with the new Etsy climate because they are raising seller fees. So don't go on my shop right now. It's officially on vacation for the Etsy boycott.
Yes, if folks haven't seen the info on that, it's because they're raising prices on sellers or raising fees on sellers. And so there's a whole bunch of shops that are going on vacation April 11th through 18th as a boycott and encouraging folks to not shop on Etsy for that
Since I haven't been super attached to Etsy for a long time, like some other sellers, I am happy to ditch and quit
time.
and find other more less greedy platforms.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, okay, so I keep thinking of trains of thought and then I forget them, so I was sharing earlier, I was thinking like, now I'm like actually trying to, take time for myself and do something besides work. So I'm like, okay, this weekend I'm not gonna work, well, except for if we have a design on call. But then like I'll go outside and like work in the garden and like do all this stuff, go for a hike, and then I'm like, tomorrow the high's in the 50s. Do I still want to do that? Maybe I should do some sewing. And I haven't pulled out my sewing machine is out. I haven't used my sewing machine in a very long time. And the last couple times I've used it was just for mending. So
Sure. I rearranged my whole crafting space earlier this year, and part of my rearrangement was so that I'd have more space for sewing. Guess who hasn't sewn since she rearranged things?
but it looks so good.
It looks so good. So yeah, and just like you said, we have it is still officially too cold to even dig into my gardens right now here. We have snow coming tomorrow. It's supposed to freeze for the next couple of nights, so there will be no outdoor activities occurring in the next 48 hours. So I think that sounds like, and plus I'm feeling under the weather and I'm probably shouldn't be leaving my house and sharing my germs with all my friends. So sounds like a great weekend to buckle down and just maybe do some sewing.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Do you have any projects you have planned?
Just to make a couple of bags, but I've got some fun fabrics to play with. I've got some glasses fabric, and I've got a couple of cutie knitting fabrics that have yarn balls and like the words knit and purl in yarn on them. So I thought those would be fun to play with.
Yeah, that does sound fun. Do you like outside of making bags to sell, do you mostly make bags or what do you sew typically?
I've really just done bags thus far. I love bags. I have a weird thing about bags. I've made notions pouches, which is another form of a bag.
Yes, yes.
I have some vintage fabric that my grandmother, they actually came from my grandmother, and I've been considering making like a pair of pants or skirt or something garmenty out of. I just have not bridged that gap yet.
Yeah,
Very daunting.
I did, like, I was better at sewing before I was decent at knitting. And because my mom sewed, none of my family knits. So mom had taught me how to sew when I was younger. So I mostly did like skirts in middle school, high school time. And then I definitely have mostly done bags since then. But I want to do a few more bags, but I also, and like I have fabric for like little kids. I have, my best friend has a couple of girls. So I might do something with that if I ever get
How
it done.
fun.
Run out of the amount of fabric I have. And then for myself, I do also want to do like skirts, maybe dresses. Like it could be fun to do like a really cozy pullover, I think. But I don't even know what that entails. So
Absolutely. Yeah, that's out of my league at this point in time. Maybe I used to say that about a lot of knitting techniques that they were out of my league, and now I'm like, oh, brioche, whatever. I got that. I can design something in brioche. Who cares? Um,
yes.
so if I take my time to develop the skills, I'm sure it will no longer seem daunting anymore if I desire.
Yes. Yes. It's kind of amazing, like how much easier things are with just some practice.
Totally, totally. Even like my second or third project bag, it was got more and more professional looking the more I did it.
Yes. I'm trying to remember. I recently saw something, or like, I think it was like a audio clip on a reel. But they person like went on this rant about practice does not make perfect. Practice makes, I think he said, experience. Anyway, it just reminded me of that. I'm like, but that's actually like really good because typically like when you practice stuff, you get really frustrated if it doesn't get perfect. But perfect is kind of just this abstract concept that never actually happens.
I can't remember if I actually saved them in my archived stories, but I know at one point the day I decided to get my sewing machine out for the first time, because I bought it because I've got a couple of things that, and I haven't touched them yet, that need mending. That's why I got it originally. And then I decided, let's make a project bag today. I did a series of stories on what an epic disaster that was starting out. Like, it took me all day to make one stupid little project bag. But I still have that project bag, and it's one of my favorite to use.
Yes, it's so fun. Okay, Natalia asked if we wanted
Yes.
her frogging live. So yeah, go ahead and join Natalia. I might be able to request you, I'm not sure.
Let's see. I can hop off and let her on.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, Natalia.
Thanks for joining, Trish. This is fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. I think I sent a request to you, Natalia.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, this way. Hey.
Hey, going.
Okay. So I got this shawl that I'm working on right now,
Yeah.
and I start working on a border here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I realized that I have not enough yarn to finish the whole border for the
Oh
whole thing.
no.
Now, yeah, now I need to undo it. Yeah.
Oh, so what's your plan?
So I take this part. I make like 10, I think, this border pieces part, and
Mhm.
then going back 3 rows, I think, here, and then start again the whole border thing. So
Fun.
you'll see.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's cotton and Ryan blend.
Oh, okay.
So very summery,
Yeah.
very nice.
Do you know whose yarn it is? Like what yarn company?
Um, maybe it's some kind of Turkey yarn base, and it's a soft. I think it's like a just part of the name. Yeah, and it's face the yard.
Okay, neat.
Yeah, more work.
Yes. So, I'm guessing it's one of your designs.
Sorry?
I'm guessing that shawl is one of your designs.
Oh, yeah. Yes. It's, I was thinking that I will be publishing, but then now I'm not sure because so the here you see pretty simple actually, like it's only 4 row repeat, one then false, one then false. But after switching between two of bigger row, it's some numbers are shifting. And then if I wanna to write the pattern, so I need to go and like row by row saying this number is this row, this number is this row, and it will be kind of long. So I don't want to do it. But I was thinking, make this pattern like a for cheaters who want to learn how to cheat on the count. For example, if we have at the end of the row like 10 stitches, then we'll be doing this and this and this. And if we have like 8 stitches, we can like skip this and this and you will be fine. But because next row and next row it's built on the previous numbers. So I need to cheat in one of the row of 4 row repeat, and then it will be fine. But I'm not sure if I can actually put in a pattern cheat sheet. We'll see.
Do you think there's a way you can figure out how to change the
Yeah, I mean,
number?
if I go with a spreadsheet and count every, then it will be easy. Yeah, then I know that this row and this row and this row will be this number, and it's like divisible by 3, for example, or divisible by 4. And but I need to do work, extra work. Yeah, but right now I'm in a
Froggy.
reverse position, just frogging, and then yeah, that's my project for today.
Fun. Since we were just talking about local yarn shop day with Trish, do you have any plans for local yarn shop day?
Probably soccer day, not really yarn day.
Yeah.
We still have my boys kids still a game for the end of April, so I usually not very active during weekend. So we'll see because we don't know schedule for some of the games right now. It will be only like a week before actual game. So yeah, that's our soccer life.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maria Lee said that your shawl looks beautiful.
Thank you.
So is this one that you think you'll do a knit version of as well?
Maybe. I didn't think about this right away. I now have cow that's coming like in around April 15. That is already a crocheted version of a knit version, yeah? Actually, I have here 4 samples. So this is a knit version. It's already published. So it's a color work. Yeah, you see all this cloth on the backside.
Looks so good.
And yeah, I have on top and on the bottom this little lined hem or folded hem something. So, and this is the same idea for crochet version. And this is right now in testing, and it's also here the same folded hem, but because it's crochet, it's tapestry crochet, so it's not folded here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my 2 samples. It's
Yeah.
like siblings.
Yeah, it's so fun. And it's not the first time you've done that because you at least have.
Yeah, I made scarf in what is it called, with elements.
The short row or the.
No. One element, second modular knitting
Okay.
and modular crochet. Modular, yeah. I have scarves, both knitted crochet. And what else? I think right now nothing especially. And one of my shawl, pocket shawl. It's actually a knit version from somebody else's crochet.
Yeah. So fun.
That's how started my idea to combine both crafts. Yeah.
And so actually Natalia is really local to me, and we did the Queen City Designer trunk show stuff last summer. And I know folks like inside the yarn shops, they loved that you had both of them, both the knit and the crochet. But I had to ask because my audience is primarily knitters, so.
Okay.
Well, that's fun.
Good to chat.
Yeah.
I didn't plan this at all. I was just scrolling through Instagram and okay, Jessica is live. I can watch because I was just in a living room on my couch and just relaxing. I told you I was hiking today, and it was a pretty long hike for me. And just then, okay, I sitting still on a watching you, and then grab my project, and then see that's my yarn. It's like going way too fast than I expected. Okay, need to do reverse.
Yes, so fun. I'm glad you were able to hop on. This is it's been a lot of fun to have different folks on. Maria Elise said impromptu chats are fun. They are. So Maria Elise, you missed most of it, but we actually, Natalia is our third person to talk to, so I think you'll enjoy the replay. Well, thank you for joining. Have a good.
So how I hang up here? I have no idea.
I think if you just press the X in the upper right corner, but I don't know. I might be able to kick you off. I don't know. Oh, you left. You got it figured out. Well, we're at the hour, and again, I don't have any words of wisdom, but last time you guys had words of wisdom. So if you have something encouraging or inspiring or motivational or whatever you want to call it that you want to share in the chat, feel free. Again, thank you so much for joining me. It's just so fun. I shared this earlier in the chat, but the reason I do these is so I can connect more with you, and it's fun. I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy it when you're able to join live and comment in the comments, but I also love your comments in the replay. So if you are watching the replay and you've watched all the way through, leave a comment. Let me know what you're working on, how your week's been, all the things. It's fun. I'm getting messages, Instagram messages, so I apologize if you're able to hear the vibrating of my phone. But yeah, does anybody have any words of wisdom? If not, or I guess if so, I hope that I don't cut you off while you're while you're typing. There we go. Maria Elise said, I don't have words of wisdom, but I love the video that you shared earlier with someone reminding us that we are enough. Yes, that was Elise, what's her last name? Dugal or something? She's a great storyteller, and has very relatable, embarrassing stories that she shares in her reels. So, but yes, I shared it in my stories this morning, I think, so it should be there for a little while if you haven't seen it and you want to go check it out. But she was basically saying you can love yourself as you are right now. You don't have to wait for anything to change. That you're perfectly lovable right now. So yes, I agree. I really enjoyed that. Thank you, Marie Elise. Yeah, and so otherwise, I will just leave you with the reminder that you're on your own journey. And so, you know, that means you're in charge of it. You get to choose what it looks like. And I want you to make sure you're enjoying your journey. So don't forget that. And sending big hugs. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and let me know what's happening on the weekend. Or there were a few folks that joined late. So feel free to comment on the replay as well. But thanks again for joining me.